Okay, so today we're diving into this outdoor seating design, and right off the bat, I'm struck by the visuals.
Yeah, it's definitely eye-catching.
It's like picture a sunny plaza, right?
Hmm.
And you've got this structure, all sleek curves, wood. It's almost beckoning you closer.
It's got that modern minimalist feel.
Totally. And those cantilevered benches, don't even get me started.
They really give it that futuristic vibe.
Like they're floating. It's incredible.
That's the beauty of cantilevering, though. It creates that illusion of defying gravity, but hidden underneath is some serious engineering.
You're saying there's more to it than meets the eye.
Oh, absolutely. Those benches wouldn't be possible without a hidden steel frame. It's the backbone that provides the support for that floating look.
So it's like a magic trick almost. You see the impressive result, but the hidden work is what makes it possible.
Exactly. And speaking of hidden work, the analysis mentioned using specific woods like teak or ipe.
Yeah, what's the story there? Were those just fancy woods, or is there more to it?
There's a good reason for choosing them. Teak and ipe are known for being incredibly durable.
Durable how?
They have a natural weather resistance. They've got these natural oils that repel water, resist decay. Perfect for outdoor use, even in harsher climates.
So it's like they were born to be outside. I can already see why they'd use those.
Yeah.
Seems like a lot of thought went into choosing materials that could really withstand the elements.
Oh, for sure. That's key for any outdoor design. It's one thing to create something beautiful, but if it can't stand up to daily use, rain, sun, what's the point?
Right. It's all well and good to have a gorgeous design, but if it falls apart after a rainstorm, what's the point? But, okay, let's go back to those cantilevered benches for a second. They look amazing, almost futuristic, but I have to ask, are they more about aesthetics than actual comfort? And speaking of comfort, that slatted canopy is giving very dappled sunlight, but is it enough shade for, say, a scorching summer afternoon?
Those are good points. And yeah, the analysis did point out some potential drawbacks. Those benches, while striking, might not be winning any ergonomics awards. And you're right, depending on the climate, that canopy might need some tweaking to provide enough shade.
Okay, so it's not perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but are there ways to enhance the design without, sacrificing what makes it so unique? I mean, imagine if you could combine that visual appeal with practicality.
Absolutely. That's where things get really interesting. One idea is incorporating greenery.
Greenery.
And I'm not just talking about a few potted plants scattered around. Imagine vines trailing up the structure, softening those clean lines, or even a mini green roof on top.
Whoa, a green roof. Now that's an idea I haven't considered before. It would add a whole new dimension to the design. Plus, I've heard those green roofs can help with insulation and even reduce noise pollution, right?
Exactly. They come with a whole bunch of environmental benefits, which is fantastic. Plus, just think about the visual impact. This sleek, modern structure with a lush carpet of greenery on top. It'd be this beautiful clash of the natural and the man-made. In a world where everything's concrete, incorporating nature like that, it feels pretty essential, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's like bringing a little bit of the outdoors into the city.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of bringing things to life, the analysis also mentioned integrated lighting.
Ah.
Can you imagine how magical this structure would look all lit up at night?
Lighting can make or break a space, and it's not just about aesthetics either. Good lighting makes it usable even after the sun goes down, inviting and safe. Imagine subtle LED strips, maybe along the underside of those curves, casting a warm glow on the people below.
Now you're speaking my language. Okay, so we've got this incredible design, visually stunning, potential for greenery, integrated lighting, but there's one more thing to unpack. Modular design. The analysis mentioned it, but I'm not entirely sure what it means in this context.
Sure.
Can you tell us more about that?
Modular design is all about adaptability. Think of it like building blocks. You create units that can be connected or rearranged easily. So with this seating structure, you could adjust its size and shape to fit different spaces. You could have a small, intimate gathering area or a long, winding bench that snakes through a plaza.
So instead of being limited to one specific design, it's more like a toolkit for creating unique configurations.
Exactly. It's all about versatility. And that's really appealing to architects and developers because they can tailor the design to the specific needs of a project.
That makes a lot of sense. It's like having a piece of furniture that can adapt to whatever space it's in. Speaking of adapting, how do you see this design fitting into different environments? We've talked about urban plazas, but could this kind of organic architecture work in a more natural setting as well?
That's a great question, and it kind of gets to the heart of this ongoing debate in architecture. How do we balance the built environment with the natural world? On the one hand, this sleek, modern design, it feels right at home in a city. But there's also this connection to nature, which makes me think it would be even more striking in a forest clearing or along a waterfront.
Right, because in a city, it's this beautiful contrast, a reminder of nature amidst the concrete jungle.
Mm.
But in a more natural setting,
Hmm.
wouldn't you want the design to blend in more seamlessly? What would need to change?
It all comes down to context, right? In a city, that contrast between nature and the built environment, that's powerful. But in a natural setting, you might want something more harmonious.
I see what you mean.
The materials would be key. Instead of teak or ipe, imagine using locally sourced wood, something that blends with the surrounding trees.
So it almost camouflages itself in a way.
Exactly. And those sharp, defined curves, they might need to soften up a bit. Something more gentle, more flowing, mimicking the natural contours of the land.
It's like adapting the design language to the environment, right? I'm fascinated by how the same structure can have such different meanings depending on where it is.
That's what makes this design so intriguing. It's adaptable. It can be a bold statement or a quiet observer, all depending on the context. But no matter where it is, it always seems to connect us back to nature.
And that's something I think we could all use a little more of. It's like you said earlier, bringing nature into our cities, into our everyday lives.
Yeah.
It feels more important than ever. But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the business side of things.
Yeah.
We talked about how much architects and developers love modular design, but how do you see that playing out in the real world?
Well, imagine you're a developer working on a new park or plaza. Modular design gives you this incredible flexibility.
How so?
You can adapt the seating arrangement without starting from scratch. It's cost-effective, efficient, and it opens up a lot more creative possibilities.
It's good for design and good for business. That's a win-win. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to the experience, right?
Absolutely. It's about how it makes people feel.
Exactly. We can talk about materials and modularity, but what's it actually like to interact with this design? To sit on those benches, to enjoy the shade of the canopy?
That's what matters. Imagine stumbling upon the seating area in your own city. The warmth of the wood, the dappled sunlight.
And if they've incorporated those enhancements, we talked about the greenery, the lighting.
It becomes magical. An invitation to slow down, to connect, to just be present in the moment.
I love that.
Even those cantilevered benches, which may not be the most comfortable, they add this playful element, something unexpected.
Something to spark a conversation.
Exactly. It's like taking something ordinary, like a bench, and turning it into art.
Something that not only serves a purpose, but also brings people joy. And isn't that what good design is all about?
Absolutely. Creating spaces that enrich our lives in ways we might not even realize.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into this outdoor seating design, I'm left feeling really inspired. It's like this whole other world of design that we don't always think about, but it shapes so much of our experience.
It really does. And the best part is it's always evolving, pushing boundaries, you know?
Totally. So as we wrap up our deep dive into this outdoor seating design, any final thoughts?
Just that. Keep your eyes open, you know? There's amazing design all around us if we just take the time to look.
I love that. So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep sitting down on beautifully designed benches. This has been The Deep Dive, taking a deep dive into the world of outdoor seating and uncovering the design choices that shape our experiences. We've explored everything from cantilevered benches to green roofs, proving that even something as simple as a bench can be a source of both beauty and inspiration. If this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, we encourage you to seek out and appreciate the innovative design all around you. After all, who knows what hidden wonders await?